Well, today we will be following with the time management. Okay, time management is very important. Why it is very important? Because we have seen that we are not able to manage our time. And it's the most precious thing that is available in our life. We should know that time is money. Okay, and money is time. We definitely sometimes lose here and there. Why? The question all of you know, because we are not able to manage time. You go to big trainers, you go to big philosophers, even they do not understand how we can manage our time for the best productivity. Why? Because if I write that the importance is productivity, okay, what does it mean? It means that productivity has got a lot to do with our life. What we are giving to us, okay, what we are giving to the society. It's a very important thing. Why it's a very important thing? Because we have seen that there is a L shape. The L shape that we follow, okay, because the L stands for life, okay, and life means what we are dealing with. And the L shape will decide what you want to do right now and what you will have to do later half in your day. That is why we come to the L shape. I significantly believe in the L shape a lot. Why? Because this is the L shape which you follow and you understand why the L shape is very important in your life. Because if you categorize your life into priority, okay, what is the priority in my life? What the productivity am I going to bring? If you actually categorize in an entire life, okay, you will get 4 quadrants. Okay, first is urgent, the second one is non-urgent, the third one is non-important and urgent, and the fourth one is not urgent and not important. But what we do, I am not talking about a life over here. Let's start with a crisp of a day. If I divide a day into 4 quadrants, you should actually believe in these 4 things which I have drawn. The first quadrant is important and urgent. What are the things which are important and urgent in your life? The first thing is deadlines. Okay? The first thing is deadlines. After the deadlines, we see what is the crisis which is going on in our life. After the crisis, there are few things like meetings which you have to attend, meetings, there are projects, okay, which you will have to take up, etc. That is the first quadrant. Now talking about the second quadrant, when we come to the second quadrant, it is all about not urgent, but it is important. What is not urgent right now, but is important? Something like planning, right? You plan your day ahead, you plan your career ahead. Then comes empowerment. How do you empower yourself? Empowerment is also very, very important. Then there is creativity, okay? Because until and unless you are creative, you will not have the edge. Now the last one, may I write it as strategy. This is the last one which I call for the second quadrant. Now let's look what is urgent but not important in our life. Okay? What is urgent but not important? Friends, they are urgent. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Yes, they are urgent but not important. We have to do a lot of things over the internet. Email or internet, I call it. Alright? And then comes the meetings with the friends, colleagues, co-workers, family, neighbors, etc. and then there are few projects as well which are urgent but not very important. Now the fourth quadrant, which is not urgent and not important, will be very small things, the trivial things which we call, small things which happen in our life. After the small things, we see what is that we have got the free time, okay? And the last one is the daydreaming. Why daydreaming? Because we have seen that most of the people are physically present, but they are not mentally present over here. That is why I write daydreaming. Okay, now we'll start with each of the quadrants. The first quadrant, as I said, is urgent and is important. Because if you are working somewhere, let it be any industry, alright? Let it be software, let it be banking, let it be the film industry, or let it be the educational industry. Whatever industry are you in, there are few deadlines which you have to follow. There are some crises, mainly in major industry like finances. Okay, there are crises, stock brokerage, where there are crises and you have to follow. It's very urgent and it's very important that you take a decision then and there itself. And then it comes to piloting, okay, like aircrafts. When we fly the aircrafts, if there is a crisis, it is very urgent and very important that we take the decision then and there itself. The last thing is meetings and projects. As you have seen, few of the members do not turn up because they have meetings, they have projects to be done in Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, Doha, United States, United Kingdom, everywhere. So there are meetings because of which they are held back. The second quadrant when I come to is planning. Okay, it's not urgent. Remember, it's not urgent, but it is important. How do you plan yourself? I'm talking about a day which is divided into 4 quadrants. If you divide the life into 4 quadrants, what is the plan? What is your plan? What we call as POA, plan of action. What is the plan of action that you are going to follow? What is the empowerment that you are giving to yourself? What are you doing for yourself right now? You might have different dreams in your life. You might set a different goal in your life from what you are doing right now. But what is the main aim or the goal in life? How can you empower yourself? That's very, very important. How do you empower yourself? After that, we see creativity. Because trust me, let it be any industry. If you are not creative, you are not able to sustain yourself. Let it be the fashion industry, let it be the film industry, let it be the software industry, let it be the transcription industry, let it be the medical industry, or let it be the education industry. If you are not creative, you are not able to survive yourself. It is important to survival. Now, strategy. Why I have written the strategy as the 4th point? Because once you have planned, okay, once you have planned what you want to do, the second thing is empowerment. How are you going to empower your plans? And the third is the creativity. That is the differentiation that you bring in yourself and the others. That is standing outside the crowd. You are not one among the crowd. You are standing outside the crowd. So that is why I have written creativity. Now, once you have the creativity, you need to have the strategy. Strategy is what? But the staircases that we follow to reach the window of the opportunity. This is the opportunity that we will have to look upon. Opportunity. This is the staircase. Okay, the strategy is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Like that, you have a strategy. Okay, if you people want to go in any industry, alright, any industry, what is the strategy that you need to follow? If it is a software industry, the first thing is you get a degree, then you go for CNNA or any other certification, alright, and after that you appear for your interviews and then get a job. After doing a job for a few years, you transform yourself to become an entrepreneur and start your own software industry. That is how the strategy works. If you are into film industry and you are a common man, you cannot get to acting right away. So you start with what? Modeling. Okay, once you start for modeling for small things, then you go up to the calendars, okay, Kingfisher calendars, and then you go up to serials, and from serials you go up to film industry. That is how your transformation is going to take place. Now the third quadrant, which is urgent but not important. Friends. Why I have written friends? Because this is not anything to do against the friends, but it's about to do with the interruptions. You know, friends, we have seen a lot of interruptions. It's very well said that a friend in need is a friend indeed. But what we see over here is that once a friend comes, he might not ask you for money. He might not ask you for book. He might not ask you to do any project. But yes, he will ask you for your time. If you are spending a time of 1 hour with your friend, then you are having the interruption for 1 hour. That is why I have written interruptions. Now the second one which we see over here is email, that is internet. We have a lot to do over internet. We search a lot over the internet. We do all Google search and everything, Facebook, WhatsApp, everything. Does it take time? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Yes, it takes our time. So this is not important. It's actually not important to do the emailing or internet. Yes, few emails are important, but apart from that, just having a chit chat with your friends is not that important in your daily life. The next thing is meetings. Meetings, as I told you, is the meetings with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, with your neighbors. We have a lot of meetings, a lot of get together. You know what we call as hangouts. Let me write it as hangouts. It's not the meeting that you are having with your boss or your co-worker. It is hangouts. You know, let's go for a hangout at CCD. Let's go for a hangout at Starbucks. That is, let's go for a hangout at KFC. So these hangouts will take a lot of your time and leave you with little time. The last one in the third quadrant, which is urgent but not important, as if now I'm talking of the current and the present time, is projects. There are many projects which are essential, okay, as I have written projects in the first quadrant as well. This belongs to employment, okay, this belongs to employment. But this project which we are talking about in the third quadrant is urgent but not important. Might be a project which your father has given you, your brother, your sister, your neighbors, or any of the co-worker. It's important but not very urgent right now. Now when we get to the last quadrant, which is not urgent and not important, are very trivial things, very small things, okay? Small things like, okay, I need to go for grocery shopping, okay, I need to have my ear pierced, I need to have something, a tattoo made, something very small, which actually doesn't have that intensity or that weightage in your daily life. After that, we have free time. You know, we always look ahead for free time. When am I free? When am I going to do this? When am I going to do that? That is the free time that you're looking forward to. And the last thing which I've written in the fourth quadrant is daydreaming. We always daydream. Let it be a child, an adult, or an old age man, they always daydream. What is going to happen tomorrow? How I will do this, how I will do that. The moment I get the money, how will I spend it? The moment I get a project in my hand, how I will do this. So actually, this is a daydreaming. Now, when we see and when we come, if you actually make this chart for your daily routine, you will see that quadrant 4 is not important at all. Why? Because you do not have time to daydream, you do not have time for small things or trivial things, and you do not have time for free time. You do not have so much time. We are left with only 24 hours. Okay? We are there only for 24 hours. So this is a complete no-no. Alright? Now what is the most important thing that we follow as if now? Let me tell you the truth as a common man. This is the quadrant number 3 that we follow very clearly. We meet with our friends, we do the internet, we have the hangouts, and we do the projects which our parents have asked. The second one which we go ahead with is the first quadrant, because after we had this, we come to realize that our life and our service, that is our employment, is at risk. Okay, that is why we go ahead with deadlines, crisis, and meetings. So this quadrant is the second one. So actually we start from the first quadrant, go to the second quadrant, right? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes. This is the starting point. This is number 1. This is number 2. And the third quadrant, that is the second quadrant planning. If we find time, we go to the third quadrant. Alright? This is the third thing that we do. Now, being a trainer, being a personality development person, let me inform you very clearly which quadrant you need to follow as if now, so that your life is well structured and you are able to utilize these 24 hours to the maximum, so that you get the productivity and you have the correct L shape. If you see, it is an L shape. Yes, it's the life, because this thing we have already crossed it out. The fourth quadrant is not important at all. Trust me. The first thing which I tell you is try to start like this. Okay? Try to have the L shape which I will be creating right now. This is the L shape that you should follow. This should be number 1. This should be number 2. And this should be number 3. Why I say the first quadrant, why didn't I say it is urgent and important? Because I believe in having faith in yourself. If you have faith in yourself, you can do anything in life. And what I ask you to do from here, the first quadrant, is not the entire day. Okay? Please start with at least 30 minutes. Okay? And it can go up to at least 2 hours. That's the maximum you will have to spend. From 30 minutes to 2 hours. If you start doing it from 30 minutes, please plan what you need to do today. After that, you need to empower your plan, and then you need to follow the creativity structure so that you can form a strategy. If you form the strategy, you will reach your goal. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes? And the second thing which you come, because you have spent 2 hours, when you wake up in the morning, you do not immediately go to the office. You are not immediately in your workplace. That is why I am asking for 30 minutes. Is it more? No, it's not too much. Only 30 minutes. It's a matter of only half an hour. The moment you get up in the morning, you have to plan, okay, how is the day going to be? After that 30 minutes, when you reach your office, start with the stage 2. Start with the deadlines, finish them off. There should be no crisis, and the meetings and the projects should be done. And after that, this will take your time around, I say, 9 hours. Okay? Because you are in the office. As per standard time, you will require 9 hours in the office. Okay? Now when we come to friends, that is interruptions, internet, meetings, hangouts, that is, and the projects, let us give it a trial of 2 hours. Is 2 hours too little for hangout? Yes, no, maybe. 2 hours is a good enough time. You can have friends, you can do internet, you can do surfing, you can have hangouts, and you can do the projects which your friends have asked you, or your father or your mother or your neighbor or your co-worker have asked you as a favor. So we come to 2 hours. 2 plus 9 is 11, plus 2 is 13. So life, I call it as a 13-hour work. After a 13-hour work, we are left with 11 hours to finish off with our day. Now these 11 hours, you can sleep, you can daydream, you can do whatever you want to do. These 11 hours are yours. So it's like if you do a partnership with someone, okay, and he is investing the money and you are riding on his money, the project is always 51% to 49%. Yes, no, maybe. This person is the chairman and this is the co-founder. That is why the chairman is your L13. That is life with the 13 hours productive work you are doing. And the 45% is L11. The 11 hours that you have with you. So always remember the formula of L13 plus L11 makes your life a good deal to do it. And trust me, many students have asked me across the globe that how do we live more than 24 hours a day? Can you live more than 24 hours a day? Can you live like, let us say, even 26 hours a day? Can you do that? Is it possible? No, so it is not possible because a day is made up of only 24 hours. But what I say is that yes, you can live with 26 hours a day. And I will tell you the formula for that. Okay? The formula for that is the third quadrant. Why? The third quadrant, it's very important to have friends. Okay, and if you are spending, say, even 1 hour with friends, okay, hangouts, something like that, in that 1 hour, if you read a newspaper, okay, about politics, about sports, about the industry standards as of now, you actually are spending around, say, 1 hour. Do we give 1 hour to that? Right? To read one newspaper or one magazine or to know about whereabouts about some particular industry? Yes? Right? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes. So, in that case, when we see that when we are with friends, why don't we talk about politics? Because 1 hour you are spending with your friend and 1 hour you are spending reading a newspaper. So those are 2 hours. But when you talk with your friends who is also reading the newspaper for 1 hour, if you are 3 or 4 friends, if we have 4 friends, each are having 1 hour for the general knowledge and the general awareness that I call as GK or GA, that is general awareness. Do we need to have the general awareness?
Yeah.
Very important in our life. So we are 4 friends, okay? We have 4 friends, each spending 1 hour for grasping the information. Now these accounts to 4 hours, yes?
Yes.
And now when you are meeting your friends in 2 hours, you discuss about this thing for 1 hour, keep 1 hour for hangout, or for your dinner, lunch, brunch, whatever you want to do. And after that, when you see that if this 4 hours is converted into 1 hour, 4 is equal to 1, how many hours do you add? 3. So how many hours do you get? 27 hours work you are doing. You are living 27 hours in a day where a day is made up of only 24 hours. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Are we on the same platform? Are we following it?
Yes.
So, to conclude, let me tell you, time management is the most important thing in our life. And we need to understand how do we divide the day and the night so that we have the maximum productivity. That is according to urgent, not urgent, important and not important. And and we draw these 3 quadrants, and the dotted lines represent which one to be followed first. The second one, the first one, the third one. This is the L shape. We were following the L shape like this, but the L shape should be like this. And it should be always the planning, empowerment, creativity and the strategy in the first time. The second, you have to follow with the deadline, crisis, meeting and project at your employment, which accounts to 9 hours. And then you go ahead with friends, email, interruptions, hangouts and projects. But remember the hours which I have mentioned, this is maximum 2 hours, this is maximum 9 hours, this is maximum 2 hours. So you have the formula of L13 plus L11 is equal to L24. That is life 24 hours around the clock. That is the time management, and I've also shown you how to live more than 24 hours in a day. Yes? Yes. So that's the formula and the mantra for today. Okay? Got it?
Yes, yes.
Now we'll follow it. The second group. Who's going to become the GBU?
Yeah.
Come on, go ahead.
So first you